Tajikistan is an attractive destination for our customers because of a number of things. The scenery obviously is something that's quite spectacular, high mountains, remote villages.
My favourite parts of Tajikistan is one, just being awed by the scenery that I saw in the Pamir Mountains. It is truly breathtaking and it really felt like an adventure.
Tajikistan has obviously an incredibly rich cultural and historical heritage. Interesting combination of cultures that have passed through and created modern Tajik culture, Sogdian history. All of these kinds of sites are a huge draw for a lot of travelers.
The natural resources they have in their agriculture, with fruit and that kind of thing, are terrific. Some of the markets you'll have in the cities are a range, it's like a rainbow. It's also important to recognise their heritage and their culture, because that shines through in the hospitality that they have.
The thing I remember the most was the warmth of the welcome. Basically people just going out of their way to kind of come up to you on the street and ask why you were there, and I stayed mostly in homestays, and at every single one of those homestays people were just throwing open their doors and super welcoming.
People like to see the Pamir Highway very much. This is one of the highlights of Tajikistan. People like to see different people, because Tajikistan is, as you know, is very, very different from north to the south, from the east to the west.
The tourist industry doesn't necessarily think about Tajikistan as a cultural destination, but both Catalan and Gorno-Badakhshan have got some fantastic archaeological sites, beautiful architecture, and a great deal of history that I think people need to be much more aware of and then able to visit and appreciate.
I think one of the challenges we have with selling Tajikistan is the accommodation situation. Something that we feel that with better accommodation we would have a wider client base that we would be able to sell our tours in Tajikistan to.
I think Tajikistan stands to benefit greatly from cross-border tourism. The primary reason for this is currently Dushanbe has very few direct international flights, and that is one of the biggest deterrents to tourists when deciding where to go.
So if there was greater connectivity regionally, that would help, so that we could offer Tajikistan as an add-on to other destinations, but it's also critically within the country.
Investment in infrastructure is very important. Making sure that the sites are tourism friendly is basically building the basic infrastructure around the sites and providing more opportunities for people to spend money, commercializing these sites while of course ensuring their sustainability.
I think ecotourism absolutely needs to be the way that Tajikistan goes.
I think one of the things that Tajikistan really needs to look at when prioritizing how and what to develop, especially with regards to sustainability, is community-led tourism.
The other thing that has happened recently, very recently in the case of some countries in the region, is they've made travel visa-free for tourists arriving from Western Europe and places like Australia, and I think that actually is quite a big step.
Tajikistan already receives a lot of backpackers, and those are good for the economy. But individuals who come to Tajikistan through package tours actually spend a lot more. They usually have more time and more money to spend. So the idea is, how can Tajikistan attract more of this type of tourism?
I think we have to organize more festivals. We have to show Tajikistan as a part of the world, and a unique part of the world.
I think the one lesson I take from countries in the region that have done it well is that it helps if you have a consistent marketing strategy that you hammer fairly regularly. So settle on a kind of strategy for this is what we want to be known for, and then push it.
I mean, this region is one that we have every intention of developing more of, and I guess, getting more product knowledge for Tajikistan is definitely a priority.
I would recommend to anybody to go, see it, experience it.
به تاجیکستان خوش آمدید.
Nasıl isim dar, vatandar kız.